Okay, by default, columns are all the same width and rows are all the same height, with columns set by default to a width of 8.11 characters, which is 80 pixels, and rows to a height of 14.4 points, which is 24 pixels. In some cases, you do not have to increase the width when the text is too wide for the column, since labels spill over into the next cell if it is empty. Some column headings in the quotation are shortened because an entry exists in the column immediately to the right. Excel automatically adjusts the height of rows to accommodate the size of the text within the cells. Manually increasing the row height adds more space between the rows, which can be used to improve readability or as a design technique to draw attention to a series of cells. In this project, you will widen the columns in which labels are shortened to make sure each entry is entirely visible to readers, and increase the height of the rows containing the column headings to make them stand out from the text below. So I'm going to make any cell active in column A. I'm going to click the Format button in the Cells group on the Home tab. Home, Cells, Format. And then I'm going to click Column Width from the drop-down menu right here. In the Column Width dialog box, I'm going to type 14 and then click OK. Okay, in the next step, you'll adjust the width of column D using the mouse. I'm going to position the mouse pointer on the boundary line in the column indicator row between columns D and E until the pointer changes to a vertical line with a left and right pointing arrow. So basically just like this, right there. Hold down the left mouse button and drag the boundary line to the right until width of 15 displays in the screen tip. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get it right on. There we go. And then let go. As you drag the boundary line to the right or left, a line appears in the column in the worksheet area indicating the new width. If, after decreasing a column's width, cells that previously had values in them now display a series of pound symbols or hashtags, the column is now too narrow. Widen the column to redisplay the values. Now I'm going to position the mouse pointer on the boundary line in the column indicator row between C and D until it changes to the double-headed arrow. And then I'm going to double click. And double clicking the boundary line sets the width to fit the length of the longest entry within the column, referred to as Autofit. I'm going to make cell E17 my active cell. I'm going to click the Format button in the Cells group and click Autofit Column Width. Autofit column width adjusts the width of the column to accommodate the amount of text in the active cell. After reviewing the worksheet, you decide all the columns with numeric values should be the same width. And the next step, you will learn how to set the width of multiple columns in one operation. I can't see this whole spreadsheet, so I'm going to use my zoom to zoom out a little bit. There. Okay, position the mouse pointer on the column indicator letter C, hold down the left mouse button, and then drag to F. That selects all those columns, C through F. Position the mouse pointer on the right boundary line for column E, right here, within the selected range of columns until the pointer changes to a vertical line with left and right pointing arrows. And then drag the boundary line right until the width is 15. Okay, and it changes it for all the cells. Click in any cell to deselect the columns. Do not be concerned that the columns are now too wide after this step. You will have many formatting tasks to complete that will improve the layout as you work through the next few activities. Now it says to move F12, the cells E12 to F13. So E12, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and then use my arrow keys to select E12 to F13. Okay, I'm going to use the move command. I'm going to point at the border. I'm going to get my four-headed arrow and I'm going to click and drag to A14. Okay, and then I'm going to click to deselect the cells, Okay, and then in the next steps you will adjust the row height. So position the mouse pointer on the boundary line below row 17, okay, until it turns into a double-headed arrow like that. And then I'm going to drag the boundary line down until its height is 21. And I'm going to let go. Okay, and notice how since that column's a little, or that row's a little bit bigger, it kind of sets it off a little bit. Control S to save, and you're done.